welcome back here on Behold Africa. This is an early morning show that we bring you the news that happen all over the world and also the African continent. You shouldn't miss out. Today in the studio, I'm also joined in with our guest who is going to be discussing some of the few things that are affecting the world right now. What we're discussing, even before you skip, it doesn't skip people's mouth to talk about the war that is happening between Russia and Ukraine. To the extent that you don't even just talk about it, but you experience it. The economy has really gone down, regardless that we are previously coming in from the lockdown, COVID-19. Yeah, that was the issue before then. But there is that change, a dramatic change in the economy. And it's linked to the war that is going in Ukraine. We are here to discuss what are some of if this way is going to keep on continuing, how long are we going to stay in this situation of the economy? And what are some of the more the changes, or what can we do as we people to help out in this economic crisis, regardless of the war continuing in Ukraine? So Mr. Gita says,
yes,
welcome you on the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all our viewers all over the world. Thank you for watching Youth Media, the first webcasting television in Africa. And thank you for being on their website, www.youthmedia.co. I also watch it everywhere. Previously I was here and I told someone, even I watch it in the toilet.
You watch it where?
Even when I'm in the toilet. That's how close it is to me.
You remind me of those people who go in the toilet and they read the newspapers. Actually, when you go into people's toilets, you find magazines, you find newspapers. So it's quite interesting. But the reason why I have you in the show, you're going to be discussing this important situation that is going on. People out there, all the people in the world, regardless, Africa, regardless, the Asian continent, everywhere is looking out to this war. When is it ending? And who are the people spearheading it? Is there going to be a change? Who is responsible for at least a change? Who's responsible for this war to end?
Well, we should focus first on who is responsible for the war. Because, and another question should be, who benefits out of the war between Russia and Ukraine? The first people who is responsible and who is benefiting. Because if there are no people, or there are no group of people who are benefiting, the war wouldn't have occurred. So there are interests which are people are following. First and foremost, the people who have gained much more are not the people of those countries, but a certain group of greedy people who try to control the world. The Western, the European Union part of it, the so-called NATO fraternity, and another USA group, not the US citizen. US citizen, by the way, they are benefiting nothing out of the Ukraine-Russia war. They benefit nothing. But USA is suffering because they don't have a leader. They don't have a president. Currently, USA
doesn't have a what?
Currently, United States of America doesn't have a president.
How about Joe Biden?
Is he a president?
He's the recognized. Who doesn't know Joe Biden? He's the president of US.
The last president of US was Donald J. Trump. Ever since that, USA doesn't have a president.
Why do you say so? But because when you go everywhere, when they ask you, even if it's meetings, even the cities themselves,
USA have a ceremonial president known as Joe Biden, but it doesn't.
So you don't know, or you don't recognize Joe Biden as the president of the US.
Not that I don't recognize His Excellency Joe Biden. I'm just talking the mere facts the American people are facing. Even the American people, they are fully aware that they don't have a president. They have a ceremonial president. On several occasions, His Excellency Donald Trump have raised questions in terms of economics. that, hey, you guys, we are putting here $12 billion and the results we are getting is $5 billion. We are spending more than what we are getting. You get that point? That has been Joe Biden. That has been Donald Trump. But then, Joe Biden, those with authority, the deep state of the United States of America, they had to raise someone who can run America into the crisis so that they will get another person to raise it again, because that's how they make money.
So what you're saying in this particular moment?
Yes.
Should we say, because before a president becomes a president, he must be elected, and elected by the majority? Not so? Is it true?
That's what is supposed to be done.
Leave along the things that come about, what we hear, rigging and all that, but like in the lawful way, it's supposed to be somebody has to be elected into that position by the majority. And I'm thinking quite aware it's supposed, in America, 60%. 60%. So is it that this 60%, what they chose, they don't know when you say that is what you're saying? Or
are you sure that really the 60% chose, or somebody played along the results? For the record, in the United States, in the 21st century, only one president has come out and I say, hey, you cheated. And that was Donald Trump. And what are these other people they trying to do? All the European Union is backed up, the NATO is backed up by what? By USA. So if the USA, some greedy people within the government have not authorized and backed up NATO to work with Ukraine, bringing other nuclear ammunition towards the doorsteps of Vladimir Putin, the war wouldn't have occurred. So those are the people who are benefiting out of this war.
But before you go further, I want to ask you, Bruto, what are some of the key things you point out and you say, Donald Trump did this and this? It was helpful to the US.
The first thing Donald Trump did, which was meaningful, not only to US, but to the entire world, was to dismiss all unnecessary foreigners into the country.
In the US?
Yes. Building the wall between the Mexican border was much more essential. Donald Trump would say, I had people coming from Africa, all just coming here. We don't want. He was right.
Okay, that is one. The second
that was the best. Do you know why? When people are oppressed by their own governments and they resort to run because they have somewhere to run, their country shall never prosper at all. But if all of them they are left within that same country, they will reach that they have no option, but they must survive, so they will stand against any kind of oppression provided or which is being made to them by their own governments. So many countries have failed to prosper because they show them a green pasture, and in actual sense which doesn't exist. Somebody knows that, if I try and I fail, I'll run to USA. I will go to UK. I will go to France.
Why do you say it doesn't exist?
Because even though they go there, how many people have gone there for their asylum? They've come millionaires in the world.
Not all. Not all, but also I'll give
the recognized one, 0.
But I'll give you another example that we, as much as we have some Africans, or right now we have here in Uganda, I remember in the parliament, the MPs wanted to bring a bill where they should stop these girls of ours going to Saudi and all that. But now I want to tell you that also we should also recognize there is also some foreigners who come in our countries, this side, to also for work and everything, but have not been successful.
True.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Isn't it 50-50?
Not at all. The rate of number of people leaving Africa and Asia going to Europe and United States of America is extremely higher compared to the number of whites leaving Europe and USA coming to these countries.
Now I'm talking about
we, the Africans, we have authorized to be extorted by the white people. What do? They have been setting wars and insecurities on several occasions within our countries. And then after those wars, we run as refugees into their country to be served by them. And guess what do they come for? Our minerals and whatever. They negotiate with various leaders across Africa and some parts of Asia, and they extract the minerals. They take back, they build their countries. But remember, where you have gone, you can be deported back. It was only Donald Trump who sat down and said, hey, how much we spent over 1 trillion as United States in the war in Afghanistan. What was the return? We spent these millions. Where? In Libya. People are continuing killing themselves. And some of them, they are running into our countries. So why are we benefiting?
So as we are finalizing, because time is going, but as we are finalizing on this, what can you tell? Because right now the world still recognizes Joe Biden.
I have no problem.
As the president of the US. It's either you say something to him or to the nation or to the people who put him in that position, because we cannot leave things pending.
You cannot tell a ceremonial. You can never tell a ceremonial person to do anything because he doesn't have the powers.
So what can be done in this particular moment?
No. It goes back to the people, to the deep state of the United States in respect of Russia and Ukraine war. You started it. You have the powers to end it. Don't provoke people. Don't provoke leaders. Don't provoke other countries to the wall. You pushed Russia to the wall. Russia overlooked you and they remain with no choice. The consequences have rushed back to your countries, whereby the high prices of the commodities you have even suffered as well. And within suffering with them, you are engaging into terrorism within your own countries. Because people who lack food, people who lack fuel, or gas as they call it there in American English, what are they going to do? They will start stabbing, killing each other in order to survive. And you are promoting criminality within your own countries, which is totally and absolutely wrong. So it's to appeal towards the deep state of United States of America, not Joe Biden, that you must ensure that you end this. Stop your NATO from whatever nonsense they are doing. You are not going to dominate the whole world. The world is open, and their eyes are open. In other words, these prices, the way the prices are going higher and higher and higher on a daily basis, and there is no purchase power. The government are unable to equip their people, with the purchase power and affordability to purchase things they need. So, if you don't do this, the entire world is going into darkness. And you'll be the one to lose because you are too rich. And the people are going to run into your farms, are going to run into your factories, into your buildings, and they're going to run into your country. because you have stolen everything.
Says, thank you for your time. We shall be back on the show, and I'll be glad to host you back on the show. Thank you. You have been on Behold Africa with me, now, show Brenda. Behold Africa, you can find us on Youth Media on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and also our website, which is www.youthmedia.co. We have more and more information for you that you should follow up. Just don't miss out. Just go there and you'll see it. See you next time. Behold Africa.